Podcast.
And good evening or morning or noon or midnight, Indubians and Lovelies. Yes, this is another joint episode for the Indu podcast, also the Love Blurs podcast, but also just from maybe the Patreon. It might be on there too. I don't really know. But there is a Patreon in case you're not aware for the Indube Network. So go check that out and support. We thank you in advance. But this is pretty much just me just talking about my predictions for the 2022, or rather the 2021 film year, or like these films have been released in 2021, but they're being, presented in 2022. For the Oscars, for the Academy Awards. And it's a joint venture, yet it's just me. I decided not to bother my other co-hosts, Courtney or Ashley, mostly because they don't have as much care as I do. Like they're there for me. They support me. Like, hey, you go get them. You guess the best that you can, and I will, and I'll do it for them. But I am here to crunch the numbers and give you my predictions, who I think will win. And I did the best that I could do to avoid looking at other publications and their picks for who should win or who could win, who will win. And I basically just did what I usually try to do every year and just go through other film festivals, other award shows, or just whatever accolades that these films have won prior to the Oscars being happening. So this is actually the closest I've actually decided to do my picks before. I mean, I'm actually recording this the day before the Oscars. So I don't normally do that. I normally maybe a week before. But here we are. And I'm just going to go through the list. And if I have any, editorial notes, then, I'm going to do what I do and say like, hey, I think this might be the winner, or maybe this should be the winner, or maybe this might be the winner if this one isn't. So I'm just going to go through the list, and we're going to begin now with the Best Actor Award. I believe Will Smith for King Richard. He'll finally get his first award. He's been nominated a couple times, I believe, already. So yeah, he'll do it. Supporting actor Troy Kotsur for Coda. I've pretty much just seen right across the board. I have not seen this film. In fact, I haven't seen King Richard either. And for the record, there are many of these films I have not seen, but the ones I will, I'll make note. For Best Actress, Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, which is well-deserved if she does win, which I think she would. If she doesn't, then I'm pretty sure the close runner-up would either be Nicole Kidman or Kristen Stewart. Both films I've seen, both films I would agree that if they were to pull the quote-unquote upset, I would not be disappointed. For Best Supporting Actress, that is Ariana DeBose. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her last name right, but she is the supporting actress for West Side Story. And if she wins, that is a record-breaking, or not record-breaking, but a record-making win for someone who has been nominated or winning an award for playing the same character that previously won that same award. And that I've discussed it in a previous podcast episode, and I've already forgotten the name. Rita Moreno, who played the same character of whomever this character is from West Side Story, which is escaping me right now, but that's okay. We're moving on. Now, this one was a tricky one. The Best Animated Film. This was a tough one, and I did a whole lot of research trying to compare who won what, when, and how many times, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just going to go ahead and call it for The Mitchells versus the Machines. Now, this is a excellent film for many, many, many reasons. Now, if this does not win, then it definitely will go to Encanto, which is also a very excellent film for many of the same reasons. But I think The Mitchells versus the Machines will be the one to take the Oscar, and I think I do want that to happen. I really do. I mean, and I wouldn't be upset if it's Encanto, and I'm sure the other films, which I don't have listed right in front of me, are great films. I've probably seen most of them, but like I said, I don't really remember. I've been looking at so many lists that I've already forgotten, like what's on, who's nominated, who else, and blah, blah, blah. So next up is cinematography. I just decided to go with Dune for that one, based on other awards it has won. It seems neck and neck with The Power of the Dog, but I'm going to go with Dune on this one. Dune is one of the films I actually have seen, so a lot of the awards it's been nominated for, I'm like, yeah, that checks out. Best costume design, I'm going to go with Cruella because of, again, other awards, but also it's a movie about not costume, but wardrobe and clothes and things. So it would only make sense that this movie would win. If that does not win, then I think maybe Cyrano, because that is a period piece, and for whatever reason, period pieces always tend to win these awards. But again, I could be wrong. And I do hope it goes to Cruella because, I mean, come on, fashion. That's what it's all about. Next up, we have the Best Direction. Now, this one, I basically just went with who has been winning for the last, I don't know, couple months or weeks or what have you. And Jane Campion, I've really never really heard her name said out loud, but she has been winning for The Power of the Dog for directing that film. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with everybody else because, again, a lot of the films I have not seen, and the ones that I have, I'm not sure, like, hey, Steven Spielberg, meh. I'm not saying nothing bad about it. I'm just saying I don't think he's the one who would win. You know, maybe not. For Best Documentary, I am going with Summer of Soul, and that is the premiere or debut feature from famed historian and documentarian Questlove, which I really, 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 really enjoyed and loved this film. So I am a little bit biased by picking this one because I haven't watched too many of the other documentaries. I have seen Flea, and that's actually nominated in a couple different categories, which it could win, but I don't think it's actually going to win any of them that it's nominated in, but we're going to get to that later. Well, maybe not, because the other one of the other categories is animation, and I remember it was listed there, but I'm like, no, probably not going to get that one because of Mitchell's versus Machines and Encanto. Anyway, documentary, I'm definitely going to say Summer of Soul for that one. I really do hope that wins because it really was a great film and just in general, and I hope it takes it. Truly do. For documentary short, this one I did some real research, some real crunching of the numbers, and looked at all of the categories, looked at all of the festivals they've been in, how many nominations they've been nominated for, and how many they won. And I decided to go with 3 Songs for Benzar. And with all of these documentaries, or the documentary shorts, I have not been able to watch any of them, so I don't know anything about them. That's why I had to do like just this extra research to find out where it came from, how many festivals it's been in, and awards, and so forth and so on, and even just how well liked it is. So I decided to go with the one that seems to have the most traction, the most accolades, and I've done that for a few other ones, which I will get to later. The next category is editing. This was a difficult one for me, I will say, because I really, again, I've only seen 3 of the films, 3 of the 5 films. And I never really think about editing while I'm watching a film, which is usually a good sign. So I decided this is the year that Dune was probably going to win a lot of the technical awards, including editing. So that's why I picked Dune. And I also, again, looked through all the other films and saw if anybody else won, like Tick, Tick, Boom or King Richard. And they didn't really win anything for editing. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep it moving then. International film, I am going with Drive My Car. Now, this is the other category that Flea was nominated in, but I really didn't see Flea winning too many awards. Or rather, when it came to international films, a lot of the winners ended up being Drive My Car, which I have not watched yet, and I plan to. Now that it's on HBO Max, I do have access to it. So I'll probably check that out because I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. And hey, I mean, regardless if it wins, I'm probably still going to check it out anyway because I believe it is a Best Picture nominee too. So that's saying something because not very often, except, I mean, you remember, what was it, last year or the year before with, oh my goodness, and my mind is going blank again, of the film that won, that was an international, like it was subtitled and everything, and it won. Parasite, there you go. Haha, Parasite. So it's possible. So next category, makeup and hairstyling. Now this one was a close one. It can go either way. I know I need to pick one, and I will pick one, but I will also have a runner-up because, yeah, it's tough because of all the the awards that it had won because of the hairstyling and makeup. But I'm going to go with my gut here, and I really do feel like it's Tammy Faye, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, that will win this one. The other runner-up, or the other possible winner, would be Coming to America. That's Coming to with the number 2, the sequel to Coming to America. And that's really the only thing that it seemed to have been going for. So, hey, there we have it. The next category is score. And I'm just going to go with Hans Zimmer because, I mean, he's a winner. And with Dune. And I also want to say that it is a film that Ashley loves to put on just to listen to the music and just to the sounds. And it definitely paints a picture of the world of Dune. So Dune for the score. For the song, now, a lot of people are probably thinking this is Lin's time to shine, his time to win, Lin-Manuel Miranda, but I can tell you that probably not. I don't really think the song that was nominated will be the one that wins, and everyone, and there's a certain song from Encanto that we're not going to talk about because it's not nominated, and I'm really curious as to why that one wasn't nominated. I'm pretty sure there's a reason. I just don't know what it is. But if that one was, it probably would have won. But since it isn't, and this actually goes across the board too, of other songs that have been put into the running for just awards in general, the song that has been winning is No Time to Die from the film No Time to Die by Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas. So that is my pick for the winner. And we will continue with... well, I've been going alphabetically, but I'm going to go backwards now. So writing original, this was another difficult one for me. And usually the writing categories are sometimes a little hard because I have to try to really parse together who I think is going to win in a lot of the other not categories, but sometimes based on whoever the best picture is, but also like the Writers Guild and other festivals, and they don't always match up. And I don't know, but writing original, I went with Belfast. It was a difficult one. I really would like Don't Look Up to win, but Belfast looks like it might be the winner for that one. Writing adapted across the board, I've pretty much been seeing Coda come up a lot. And again, I haven't seen Coda, but I'm hearing really good things about it. I really need to get Apple Plus. I think that's the only place that it's located, or you're able to watch it. So next up is visual effects. I'm going with Dune. Sound, I'm going with Dune. And I'll just go ahead and go with production design. I'm going with Dune. I don't remember what all the other categories are. Visual effects, I do know some of the other ones like Spider-Man and Free Guy, I believe. But yeah, Dune for like pretty much all the technical ones. Now, short film live. I went with A La Kachu, or Take and Run. And this is based on the percentage that it has on IMDb, as well as the nominations, or not nominations, all the wins it has across like all the festivals and awards and everything that it's collected so far, which is, I believe, according to IMDb, 22 wins. I didn't go through to look to see what all, like each festival, but that's a lot. Compared to all the other ones, that's a lot. And rather than me trying to base it off of films that I've heard of, or names, or even actors that are in them, because sometimes, hey, exposure, that's what's probably going to get you to win, but maybe not. Maybe they are exposed because it has been through so many festivals. So that's kind of what I'm going by this year, because usually it's usually hit or miss, but I'm really trying to hit these this time. So short film animation, I'm going with Bestia, or I think it's also maybe Beast in English. I'm not sure. But again, for same purposes, it's been nominated, or it has more wins than it has nominations. If that makes sense? I think that makes sense. Yeah. And also highly rated. There is one that's rated just a point higher, but it has more. It only has 3 nominations, but no wins. And that's Robin Robin. And that's on Netflix. But I think all the other ones I have to go look for. And I really do want to see all these shorts. I'd say that every year, but it's kind of difficult to find them. Or at least for me it is. So I'm sure it's somebody else out there that can help me with that one day, someday. Now, Best Picture, again, across the board, I've been seeing The Power of the Dog. And I guess sometimes, depending on who wins Best Director, that sometimes kind of follows suit with the Best Film. And I've never seen this film yet. I don't know if I want to. Not because of any reason other than, like, I don't know. It's like the whole cowboy thing kind of just dissuades me a little bit, or being out in the Western, even though I really, really love The Harder They Fall, which is not nominated at all. And it's just a crime, just a shame. But there you have it. That is my pick for this year, or picks rather, for the Oscars. And it took a good hour, if not more, just crunching the numbers and going through them. Like, let me check Wikipedia, let me check IMDb and all these other different websites just to get all the information, just to see if I can win this year, just to have a better grade than I have, like just kind of getting almost like 50%. Like I think I get like an average of a C if you were to grade my score. So hopefully I can get like a B, maybe an A. We'll see. I don't know. But Oscars are in 24 hours, and yeah, may the best film win, which I guess might be The Power of the Dog. I don't know. There's also these other two categories of like best scene of the year and favorite film of the year. They're like people's choice that you vote on Twitter. I think I only did one of them, and I kind of forgot about it. I really haven't been on Twitter that much, but I might be live tweeting, so we'll see. We shall see. And then I'll probably do a follow-up in the next Indoob episode just to say, hey, this is how I did, and we're moving on. And these are, other films and whatnot. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you for supporting the Indoob podcast as well as the Love Blurs podcast. I don't have any other announcements other than that. But yeah, thanks so much for listening, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.
The Indoob podcast.